Yeah, Bill Gates buying up all the farmland. The full story. I bet it's not the full story, unless they have something in here about him being a Lebensborn and doing checkerboards so that they can just steal all of America when they vaporize all of us. But I have a feeling they won't tell people that part. We'll see. How much farmland does Bill Gates own in Iowa? The founder of Microsoft owns 600 acres of Iowa farmland. The reason why is probably not what you think. As an agricultural state that takes a lot of pride in our state's farmland, Iowans want to know what's going on. It may seem suspicious, says Peter Jock, formerly a farmland finder acquired, but many reasons he's interested. Perhaps Iowa soil is a bit better valuable than we realize, especially when they nuke the coast. Yeah. It will be very valuable, yeah, when the entire east and west coasts are vaporized and at the bottom of the ocean like Atlantis. Yeah. Yeah, I think that Iowa will be a nice place to live finally. That's all it took was completely vaporizing all of the coasts. No one fucking wants to be in Iowa except for Bill Gates. Let him have it. No, just kidding. We're going to take it from him. You're not allowed to have it, Bill. There are a few conspiracy theories as to why Gates is buying so much farmland. Some believe he is trying to control and manipulate the United States food sources. At the very least, that is exactly what it is. At the very, very, very least. But see, here's the thing is I'm not naive anymore, and I don't look at these guys and go, they mean well. They mean well, but they just usually screw up sometimes. These people do not mean well. These people are straight up demons. They don't have souls. They don't think about us as people. They just think about their incest. Unless you got ears this big, doggy, crimson chin, and you're from Cincinnati, they don't care about you, okay? So this is what worshiping billionaires got us, because in the meantime, y'all forgot that they're not billionaires, they're nancies. We were worshiping nancies for the last 40 years, guys. Interesting, right? It's interesting, too, when you think about, like, Elon Musk bastardizing Tesla's name, because, Elon's calling his company Tesla is part of the grift, too, because they gotta get Tesla out of our heads. They can't have us thinking about Tesla talking about free energy and, like, oh, we could send Wi-Fi and internet and electricity everywhere wirelessly at a fraction of the cost of doing it with oil. We can't be having that. So you know what we do? We have Elon make a car company called Tesla. We ruin his name. We go, ugh. These are Tesla cars, all the lines, all the body panels and shit, they don't even match up anywhere. Like, they all look messed up. They're all bad cars. And then look, you never think of Tesla again. So, yeah. I understand your feelings for Iowa, LMAO. I was born in Iowa. I also lived in Wisconsin, so I wasn't putting it together. Yeah, I mean, let's be real. I love all my corn-fed people. All of my Midwesterners, we're all such decent, nice people, and most people are not the way that they act, like, online and shit. Like, me and my brother were talking about this last night. It's like, it's just people on the internet who get you to, like, fight each other all the time and stuff. And that's how you know they're not fucking real. Because I do love my Midwesterners, even my Iowans, even my fucking Buckeye fellow Midwesterners. I just went to UW-Madison, so we got to hate on, the Buckeyes. But, no, I love the Midwestern, like, sensibility. I love that. I love most Midwestern people are freaking awesome. And I wish everyone kind of just acted like that normally instead of, or, like, online at least. Like, I don't know. There's, like, there's confrontation when you need it, but, like, for the most part, people don't immediately take your meaning to be the wrong meaning, Like, when you see people in person, that's much easier. So, I don't know, I think that, like, we will win this eventually. It's just gonna have to take the fucking internet being destroyed, probably, and then all of us having to look at each other in the face And then we'll look around and we'll be like, where's Bill Gates? I thought he was going to help us. Oh, wait, maybe he's the problem. And then we'll all go attack him. And by that, I mean, just go live in his house. That's all we'll do. We're not going to hurt him. We don't like him. We're not going to hurt him. We're just going to put him on one of his yachts, take the engines off, and push it to sea. You know, we wouldn't do anything. He would just die if he couldn't get out of that situation, but it wasn't us. We would never do anything to hurt Bill Gates. We just want him the fuck away from us. We want him gone forever. Yeah, and it's so weird. It doesn't mention a single thing about... It doesn't mention a single freaking thing about how they have like what's it called? It's a sabotage document where Germany never actually lost the war. They never actually signed a declaration of whatever it's called. Yeah, see? What is it called? Oh yeah, they never signed their unconditional surrender. Erik Orions says that they're going, and not only Erik Orions, Otto Skorzeny says that they're going to do, what again? Squatters' rights. And that's what nancies do, guys. What have they been doing from the start? It's all tricks. It's all trickery. They're tricky little fucks. Look at these tricky little minxes. Look at all of them. Those are the boys. Those are all the boys. That's all it took, guys. It took Ralph, Mengele, Wisner, Brunner, Skorzeny, and Gillen. That's 6 people. Essentially, these 6 people killed everyone who was a problem for them for 40 years, and now everyone who runs shit is psychopath. That's all it took. So, there's 27 of us. Dude, look at their little short ties, too. It's so cute. They're like, okay, guys, we're off to the big world, and we're gonna do the Americans, but for real life. Look at our short little cute ties. Look at us, guys. We're nancies, and we're gonna go live in the big America. America. Dude, I bet they were so stoked when they got to America. They're like, it's really this easy? These Americans, they don't question anything. They just assume. They just assume that everyone has the best interest for them in mind. We don't. We definitely don't. We have really bad interest for them in mind. But yeah, so where does this say that he's buying it in a checkerboard pattern to do squatters' rights? Many top dogs believe the carbon energy is the next big renewable energy. Dude, it's the land. He's taking all the land. He's going to put a big-ass wall around it. Watch. Oh, my God. Is this still the same article? Okay, so yeah, this isn't going to go into any of the theories about why they're buying all this shit. Oh, they're just saying it's an investment opportunity. Dude. Okay. Yep. Bill Gates is not a Nancy, and he's not going to steal America along with his friends. George Bush. Dude, come on, right? That is a snake, and I'm never not going to see snake. Have I seen this? Oh, brother. What is this? Wait, no, I mean, this is from Erik Orions. This is from Erik Orions, right? Or is this additional information? Whoa. What is this? Okay, so yeah, so we know all of our information has come from Otto Skorzeny. He's the one Nancy with a heart. Not even really. Like, he was a bad dude. He was a really bad dude, but I give him credit for coming out and talking about this shit. He's the only one. Like, he's got to get a little credit for that. He admitted to all this shit that they did. Dude, without Otto Skorzeny, I wouldn't have put any of this together. So I do have a little, like, it is an honorable thing. Like, dude, everyone has a chance for redemption, but you got to do the work. If you did something like this, you have to do the work to fix it. You don't just get to die and then say, well, I made it. Like, dude. Yeah, look, there's our boy right there. I could see him from 100 miles away now. I know this is true. Mengele, right here. You know who did the anthrax bombings or the mailings? Mengele. After the war under Project Paperclip, Skorzeny and George H.W. Bush were instrumental in merging with the OSI to form the CIA. What did I say, guys? The CIA is 100% made to hide nancies. It is not anything else. It's just to hide nancies. Isn't that crazy? Dude, and Israel too, I think the big secret about it is that there's like no Jewish people. I think it's all hiding nancies for the most part. And then people who've been tricked by propaganda. But I mean the people running it, making the decisions, the neti pots, the what's the other one? The other real Smotrich, that guy, even his name, you're like, that's a Nancy. He's a Nancy for sure, 1,000,000%. All of them are hiding nancies, dude. And I think that their plan, and this is kind of a smart plan. It's kind of a smart plan if you didn't write it down and you weren't so brazen and you didn't think that we didn't have a choice anymore because you own everything. Like, they're so backed up, or they're so like, what's it called? They have so many bots that they pay for. Like, Elon scrolls on Twitter, right? He doesn't go in the real world. He doesn't know what the real world's like at all. He doesn't know like how we know it, right? Where if you go out into the real world and if I go out into my street and I fucking fall on the ground and I drop a bag of groceries, 6 people will fucking come over and help me pick it up, you know? Dude, in New York, most anywhere, but New York is like Disneyland, bro. Everyone always wants to say that New Yorkers are bad, like mean people. We're not mean. We're just in a fucking rush all the time. But I swear to God, dude, if someone like is being mean to you or like you need help, there are 6 people on the street that will step up and help you. If an old lady needs to walk across the street, we'll put our bodies in front of cars and be like, fuck you. Let this old bat walk, bitch. You know what I mean? Like, that's... I know that most people are like that, you know, so. Elon doesn't, though. Elon has his bots telling him, yeah, everything is women's fault. Oh, and it's brown people's fault. And he's like, yeah. So and you know, they look around and like I said, they see family reunion. They see Cousin Taylor, oh, it's Cousin Taylor over there pretending like she doesn't like me. It's all play. Oh, look, it's cousin Killary and Bill. Killary and Kill. Look, they're pretending like they're gonna you know, make something bad for business, but really they're business people. What do you mean? It's all a play, you know? Like, they all do this because they're brazen at this point because they just think that we've gone along with it. But they don't see us doing this stuff now. I mean, they see us because we're doing this on the internet. But they don't see that, like, dude, most people on the street are not like them. They are not fascist. Most people want to help each other. And when they actually see what these jackasses are trying to get to happen in America, like, I hope, dude, I really do. I hope it's done. I hope it'll be done eventually. But I have faith in the people. I do. I think most of us are just very, very, anytime something changes, everything gets worse. So I think a lot of people are like, don't change anything anymore because every time you change something, it gets worse. But guys, I don't think it can get worse at this point, you know? Helicopter time. Yeah, I probably threw him for a loop for doing a day stream. They're probably like, oh, we were going to drone strike him before 6. Oh, man, now he's live? What the heck? But, I don't know. I have faith in the people, even Iowans, brothers. I love my Iowans. I love everyone, dude. People are cool. People are the coolest people. There's just bad people that even are probably decent or could be decent, but they need to stop what they're doing. Like, I bet when Taylor and her sister, Chaya Rachik, are just hanging out, having sister time, watching the boob tube or whatever you do in your mountain, your mountain retreat in Glacier National Park with your incest family and the, like, birthing huts or whatever you guys do, and the cool, like, drones that fly out at night and they're powered by, electrical magnetic like pulses coming from the frickin' electrical lines and stuff, or what's it called when they can just they don't even have to touch it. They just go above the electrical lines and they can power up from that. How cool is that? But anyway, when Taylor's doing that and she can drop the mask and she doesn't have to be obsessed with taking Dante's accounts away from him, I bet she's pretty cool. I bet she doesn't want to be doing what she's doing, but she's been traumatized and shown that it's the only way. And also she's got a fucking family stake in it. It's like the same thing with like Ethan Klein. I couldn't keep listening to him talk about how Israel isn't doing anything wrong because he's got a fucking stake in it, you know? And that's what initially set me off with that. But like all of these people, even Ethan Klein, they have a chance for redemption. And so far none of them have taken it, which is crazy to me, but you know, think about you see how hard they're holding on, they're clawing onto this still, right? And even to the like you can see how fucking sad they are. Like Chaya Raichik does not look happy. Hank Green even doesn't look happy. Ethan Klein does not look happy. Like they don't want to be doing this, but they have to because they don't want to be the person that stops this 200-year plan that their family has been fucking working on, you know? But guys, you will be a hero. Just do it. You gotta quit. We all can frickin' live together. We all can have a good life. And all we have to do is stop Peter Thiel. Everyone will get behind that. Everyone hates Peter Thiel. Who doesn't hate Peter Thiel? Fucking Peter Thiel. But yeah, so SS officer and physician Joseph Mengele, the notorious sadistic angel of death of Auschwitz, escaped Germany to South America after the war. George Scherf Jr. became the 41st president of the United States. Then his son became a president, and now we're figuring out, boys, that the 1942 submarine saboteurs might be, and that might have been the, dude, what if one of them is Robert Maxwell, and one of them is like Rupert Murdoch, and one of them is, surprise, and one of them is, like, dude, Joseph Robinette Dash's dad came over on the submarine. I think I'm right on this. I only have the tummy feels like this when I'm right, dude. I'm telling you, like something weird is happening, guys. The intuition vibes are real. I trust them more than anything. And I'm telling you, I got them hard on this. I got them so hard on this. Oh, man. Dude, this makes so much sense now. It's like, you know, dude. I gotta get Jessica to like me again. Jessica thinks I'm like a Fed or something. But I understand. She's been like traumatized for fucking 2 decades. And she questions everyone. So I think she thought that I was like not on her side for a little bit. But I need to talk to her because she knows everything, dude. And like, bro, look at this man. That is him. And there's no way it's not. And Jessica thinks this is her daughter. So that is why, Jessica got locked up. And why she's trying to not be locked up again right now. But this isn't like, it makes, so much of it relies on you going, no. If our president did something like this, we would know and people would stop him. No, they wouldn't. No, they fucking wouldn't, dude. Kids. And it makes so much sense when you realize that they're all fucking hiding nancies, bro. All of them. His own kids. You want to tell me that isn't Joe doing weird stuff on his children? It makes sense, dude. finally something makes sense. Ashley Biden's diaries. What the fuck, man? But dude, we could get a good ear snappy from this. We got to get all of the Joseph Robinette Sr. photos that we can. Here, and look, guys, you want to know how I know that these photos do include the likeness of Joseph Robinette Dasch? Is because PolitiFact said, actually, this is not real. No viral images don't show Joe Dasch naked with a young girl. What's this, though? That's definitely Joe. You know what? There's people where you can just see their body stance, and you're like, yeah, that's him. What's he grabbing there? She have a coffee or something? She has like a drink. He's getting a drink from her, or what? Anyway, so that's our president. And this is his dad, who's totally not wearing a disguise. Dude, I mean, come on. Look at the fucking... Okay, here. Look. Look at the eyebrow crease. Look at the forehead crease. We got to get the highest resolution photos we can, but I don't even need them, dude. I feel like I look at them big ass honking donking ears, brother. Look at that. It's like makes a big ass U in here, right? And I know we're looking at the opposite ear, but dude, right now this is not telling us we're wrong. And the ears are usually what you got to look at. And think about this too, is like they could have, I think that sometimes they like the Werner Thiel thing. I kept thinking it was Peter's dad because of just the name Thiel, even though I was like, this dude looks more like Roger. But I've always been like, I think it's either Roger or Peter's dad, right? But then when you fucking see Erwin Franz Kleyer Thiel and you put them next to each other, you're like, oh no, this is it. So people can goof and think that like pictures and likeness between people doesn't mean a lot, but the likeness is like the last step. You know what I mean? Like the likeness is like it's just the kick in the nuts. Like we don't need the likeness to our thing doesn't just depend on that. But the likeness, bro, you can't deny. Like there's only one way that people can look so similar. And that's being family, dog. That's how genetics work. So, boys, I'm saying, like, what if... Dude, the eyebrows really make me feel like... I don't know. Could it be... It couldn't be Maxwell, right? It couldn't be Robert Maxwell. The eyebrows are screaming Maxwell to me. And then this dude, Richard Quirin's, dude, someone said he looks like Jon Stewart. And I'm kind of like, maybe. But them ears be fucking huge, dude. Ernst Peter Bunger. This guy looks like, is this Rupert Murdoch? Is this someone? Is this another Kleyer? It kind of feels like it. It kind of looks like, here, look at Otto Kleyer. We have one photo of him. Oh, and I was going to send a link today, too. Something happened with John Hankey where I think that he was, like, mad at me. Didn't we missed John Hankey? There was a day that we fucked up or crossed wires with John Hankey. We apologized profusely, and then we were fine. And then there was another time that we were waiting for Hankey, right? Because he seems to think that I blew him off a different time and was, like, upset with me. So I'm not sure. I'm trying to fix it. I told him that he could come on today and we could talk about his October 7th thing and hash it out. I don't know if it's just like, I don't know. I'm not sure. It hurt my heart, though. He's like, he's like very anti me talking about the Nancy stuff. But like, guys, this is important, I feel like, right? Like, the fact that they're all hiding Nancy's means something. This isn't in my head. I'm not making a big deal about this. Like, this is a big deal. This is a huge deal. If I'm right, like, and dude, unfortunately, I do think I'm right about this. It makes more sense than everything. And I don't get it. I don't get what is the aversion to this? Unless people are federal. Like, what would be the aversion to being like, these are fucking Nancy kids hiding that they're Nancy's and killing people who are in their way and working as a family unit? Like, that is meaningful to me. I think that's bad. So, I don't know, but I feel so strongly about this that, yeah, like, if this is going to ruin my relationships with people, I don't think I'm wrong. I'm sorry. I'm not going to say I'm wrong just to make people feel comfortable. No more being comfortable. You know what I mean? So, I get it too. Like, dude, this is earth-shattering. You've been living your whole life in a Nazi world. Willingly. Not doing anything to fight it. You know what I mean? I get the aversion, but if it's true, it doesn't matter what you think, bro. But yeah, bro. So Heinrich Harm Hank, I think he went to the West Coast-ish too. I feel like he died in Kentucky or something, or maybe Herbert died in Kentucky. So I think you could be right that, like, Majora, that they like spread out. That maybe Klaus had another kid, and it's what was their name? Russell Walters? No, that's the guy who wrote. Walter Russell is the guy who wrote the cool book. But dude, is this couldn't be Jon Stewart though, right? Jon Stewart isn't a big enough player. But dude, I don't know. Look at Robert. I don't think the timing lines up perfect, but I feel like he should be older here. But dude, look at these. I'm just saying the eyebrows are kind of like, you know what I mean? Open and honest communication with respect can do a lot. Amen, dude. Like, why out of the whole world do they have connections there? Yeah. I think a lot of people themselves probably have roots back to fascist Germany, and that's hard for them to reconcile. Yeah, I know, but we have to reconcile it, guys. Like, I don't know how to, like, yeah, someone, was it Blair, asked, like, how to deal with these Liby's and stuff? I think the right answer is love. Because I think that they are doing what they're doing because they don't think that there's another option. But if we say, hey, you feel like you have to do this because your family's going to kill you or something, well, we're not going to kill you. We just want you to stop doing it. And if you could tell us the whole thing so that we can, put up a barricade around it and not let it affect us anymore, that would be uber helpful, and we will be totally chill with you tattling on them. You know what I mean? Like, that's why their, like, MK Ultra shit has never worked, is because they're always trying to force people to do stuff. But what if you just make your option the better option? The safer option? The healthier option? The more moral option? Dude, people will just gravitate towards that. If they have a way that they feel like they could be safe and tattle, I feel like some people would. And because I think that they're getting so tired of this. I really do. Unless, some of them are brutal monsters like Peter Thiel, I think. But I think people are made into brutal monsters. And I think I think deep down, even Peter knows that what he's doing is bad. I hope so, man. I really do. I don't want to lose faith in humanity. I don't think that that's what it is. I don't think that there are bad people. I think that there are people in very complicated situations whose parents have gotten them into very complicated situations, and they're narcissists, so they don't want to admit fault or anything. So they just would rather sacrifice their kid than be like, hey, you should stop this. I think I fucked up. I think I shouldn't have done this. I don't want my kids to be like the villains of the universe. Like, if it were my kid, I would be like, yo, I'm going to rat everything out, and you need to tell everyone too, because your name is going to ring through history as the snake. Peter, the teal name will be like poison. So. But dude, like, think about it. Robert Maxwell, he is a level of person that I think... These are the type of people that will be the submarine saboteurs. I think they're all like Biden, Peter Thiel. Like, I don't think there's any bozos in here. There's no like... So I'm trying to think of like, who are the other biggest players? Like, this was so important for them. It's so weird that they took all these photos and stuff. They really didn't think anyone would put it together. I mean... They didn't know the future. They didn't know that one of them was that two of their spies were gonna become presidents. Dude, I bet Hitler was like, I can't believe this worked so well. Holy crap. Oh, man. It's what I tell my kids. Don't do things just to be polite, and it's okay to disagree in a kind way. Yeah, dude. Yeah, that was like the one of the first things that I feel like going to college is one of those, like, college is a grift and whatever, but it's now, but if it weren't, like the idea of going and just learning for like 4 years and just that being your priority and like, going and sitting in a small class and discussing like like, because in high school and stuff, it's not like an open discussion or anything. It's like, here's what everything is. Memorize it. But then in college was the first time that I realized that you can like push back on people and be like, well, I see it different. And that, yeah, it's like not, I like debate, or not debating, but like, I like collaborating with people and hearing what their take is, because, everything that I believe, I've taken little pieces from everyone else, right? Because you hear about stuff that you would never think of yourself. And so I like hearing people, even if they're stupid wrong, even if I think they're super wrong, I think that you get a lot from even the super wrong people. And sometimes they're right, man. Like, dude, look, everything that we're talking about, I feel like all the crazies have been talking about for 20 years and no one has listened to them. And if maybe we listened, maybe we wouldn't be so far behind, But I don't know. I like the crazy people. The crazy people are the ones who have all the secrets. What you are about to read is another step beyond research pioneered in the early 90s by historian Webster Tarpley, based largely on deathbed clues provided by former Hitler bodyguard Otto Skorzeny in his box of photographs. Since Skorzeny's death in 1999, the various leads he provided have been followed up and tend to support what, at first blush, would appear to be unbelievable rantings of an embittered old man. What remains constant as we pore through publicly available official records, private correspondence, memoirs, newspaper articles, photos, and other clues is that Bush family records, the ones that exist, are a puzzle palace of inconsistencies and curiosities. Boy, ain't that the truth. Since it is a congressionally established fact that Prescott Bush was in business with the Nancies during World War II, we can safely say that the Bush-Nancy connection existed. Who are the Bushes? How did they get connected to the Nancies? Is the connection still alive through U.S. Presidents or H.W. Bush and George W. Bush? Yes! The answers are not as literal as we would like them to be. Dude, it is to me. It's a done deal to me. There's no one that can prove it otherwise. George H.W. Bush is George Scherf. A billy%. A billy. Yeah, what we were taught in American schools is not history, but a fairy tale. Better yet, it is propaganda designed to hoodwink an unsuspecting society about its true heritage and in the treasonous acts and sabotage that were conceived in order to bring about a new world order. You are about to learn the real identities of those who have infiltrated your nation on behalf of secret societies intent on bringing about the total slavery of mankind. Dude, what do we say? In the past, others have written about numerous conspiracies to control natural resources, energy, food, and our sovereign right to live on planet Earth, not as slaves of a wealthy few, but as free men, women, and children exercising the free will given to them by God. Imagine you were a member of a secret organization whose sole agenda was to control the entire planet. If your plan was to accomplish this goal without being perceived by your intended victims, discretion would be paramount. Your organization would devise a series of historical events that on the surface would appear to be everyday happenstance occurrences, natural disasters, man-made diseases, acts of murder, assassination, terror, manipulation of money and energy supplies, contamination of food, pollution of natural resources, and war. The timing of these events would require patience, careful planning, cooperation with others in positions of trust, stealth, and deceit. In essence, the whole mission must derive its power through deception and concealment and must have a master plan. Who were the designers of the master plan? Follow along as we connect the dots. Arrival of the bankers. As the turn of the 20th century, a plan to slowly take over the government of the United States began to unfold. Many works have been written about the Nazi machine that instigated 2 world wars though few have traced the footsteps of the foreign financiers and the actors we prefer to call politicians. Dude, oh my God, this is spitting so much truth, boys. Let's go. Right? I'm going to keep reading this for a minute. I think this is good stuff. A brief glance at shipping records, passenger manifests, and financial transactions on Wall Street indicates a pattern of deception which was masterminded by the same machine. The level of cooperation with government agencies and their elected officials was not only disgraceful, but blatantly treasonous. What have we been saying? They're fucking treasonous rat snakes, right, boys? Straight up. Treasonous rat snakers. In his book, The Creature from Jekyll Island, author G. Edward Griffin described the secret meetings which created the Federal Reserve in 1913. The architect of the plan, Paul M. Warburg, oh my God, what a perfect name, was a representative of the Rothschild Bank in England and France, and his brother Felix headed the Warburg banks in Germany and the Netherlands. Of significance is the fact that the first official media report about the Federal Reserve occurred 3 years later in Leslie's Weekly. BC Forbes described the secret meeting between Republican Senator Nelson A. Aldrich and 6 of the most powerful bankers in the world. That this meeting had to be conducted in secret, clandestine island location indicates the level of deception, concealment, and treason at work. Dude. Paul Warburg, a German national, spoke English well enough to craft a financial document, a volume consisting of 1,750 pages, resulting in the Federal Reserve Act, designed to control the finances of the United States from Europe, was no small feat. Of particular interest was how Warburg was able to establish these important connections prior to his arrival in the U.S. in 1913 and then orchestrate this financial coup. Warburg had to have known his co-conspirators before coming to America. The first official record of Paul Warburg's trip of the U.S. appeared in the Kaiser Wilhelm II passenger manifest upon arrival in Ellis Island. October 13th, 1903, the official manifest on line 7 lists a Mr. P. Warburg, age 35, occupier, banker, nationality, American heritage, German, last residence, Hamburg, final destination, New York. Home, 3 East 82nd Street, New York. In fact, Paul Warburg claimed he was an American in 1903. Was this claim valid? Dude. Of special interest in this October 13th, 1904 passenger manifest is the fact that other prominent passengers in the elite financial community were also on the same passenger manifest. Harry Sachs of Goldman Sachs is listed as a passenger, but unlike Warburg, he was not required to declare his destination or his address. In fact, of the 30 passengers listed on page 293 of the Ellis Island database of ship and passenger arrivals, P. Warburg was the only passenger required to declare his destination. Was this an attempt to establish Warburg's nationality? Suspiciously, the second half of the page is missing from the database, so we are not privileged with pertinent and official information as to his place of birth, nor his physical description on this occasion. Future arrivals at the port of New York would shed more light on these issues. The record-keeping of the Immigration Office on October 13th, 1903 was not merely sloppy. It appears that Warburg and other passengers were not scrutinized to the extent required by law and were assisted in entering the country with special yet illegal considerations. Unlike earlier or later arrivals, immigration officers were permitted or instructed to be lax and obviously negligent in their duties. Particularly, these destinations and birthplaces were of concern. Warburg's second arrival to the U.S. on the SS Deutschland was similar to his first. Though still a U.S. citizen on 1905, he was demoted to merchant. However, on a third arrival in 1906, Warburg was once again a banker. His memory had failed him on his third trip when he declared that he had never been to the U.S. previously. Neither had his wife and 2 children who had traveled with him on prior trips. He had also forgotten that his home in New York City too, when he claimed he had no address in the United States. On this visit, Warburg declared Hamburg, Germany, as his place of birth. Incredibly, on a later visit to the U.S., Warburg claimed he was officially a naturalized citizen, citing the Circuit Court of New York, March 21st, 1911, as the place and date where he had been bestowed his citizenship. Despite Warburg's earlier proclamations, he was not declared a U.S. citizen until that time. Warburg thereby committed perjury, which was overlooked on... Yeah, of course he did. Not to be outdone, James Loeb, a partner in the Kuhn, Loeb and Company banking firm in New York City, traveled with Warburg on October 13th. Dude, this is... Oh my god, these fucking bankers. Although he apparently suffered from amnesia in 1910, neglecting to declare any country of origin, and later in 1912 declaring to the U.S. Immigration Service that his birthplace was Landsberg, Germany, a small town west of Munich. Despite conflicting literary and historical accounts, Nikola Tesla, a Serb, was born in July 10th, 1856 in Smilja Lika province, or what is now modern-day Croatia. Prior to World War I, Smilja was on the border of Austro-Hungarian Empire, so in effect, Tesla was a citizen of Austrian origin. The son of a Serbian Orthodox priest who rose to the rank of archbishop, Tesla had the opportunity to study a variety of topics contained in his father's personal library as a young boy. He accompanied his father on trips to Rome, where he was able to study the lesser-known works stored in the Vatican's vast scientific repository. Dude, that's how Tesla got to go into the... Oh. Upon completing his studies in engineering and physics at the Polytechnic Institute in Graz, Austria, Tesla attended the university at Prague. He demonstrated early on an innate ability to solve mechanical and scientific problems, especially in the area of electricity and its applications in power production. After working for Edison Telephone Company subsidiaries in Budapest, Paris, and other cities through Europe, Nikola Tesla went to America to meet the man whose company gave him his first job, Thomas Edison. Tesla found it difficult to work for Edison due to Edison's reneging on financial promises. He's a capitalist. Of course he does. He's a liar. That's what capitalists do. They lie. But soon found backers to finance his research and development projects and his new inventions. Financiers such as John Pierpont, J.P. Morgan, and George Westinghouse and John Jacob Astor were among those who saw the potential in Tesla's pioneering entrepreneurial spirit to capitalize on his technological discoveries in electricity, wireless communications, and physics. The only official documentation of Nikola Tesla's arrival in the United States was again produced at the port of New York. On April 7th, 1882, a 25-year-old Tesla arrived by the SS Nordland, which departed from Antwerp. He had returned on this trip to the U.S. after lecturing in Paris. Tesla's destination, New York, Tesla immigrated as a laborer, though his label hardly befit the man who would become the most prolific inventor in history, with some 700 technological patents to his credit. Previous accounts of Tesla's association with Thomas Edison's project place him in the United States in the 1870s. His many technological discoveries were certain to have drawn the attention of those hungry for world domination and superiority. By and large, Tesla's inventions and his career were excluded from our history books because his inventions and patents were stolen and then weaponized. It was never intended for us to learn about the suppression of Tesla's advanced scientific discoveries, nor about those who profited from their theft. The orchestrators of the master plan. Fucking men, dude. Yes. Nikola Tesla, although he had succeeded in winning the majority of the patent lawsuits, his technology had been repeatedly stolen and sold to the German nancies and other foreign governments, so he never achieved the financial success he deserved. The embezzlement of his capitalization went unchecked through Tesla's career. By the time of his death, by murder, according to Skorzeny, on April 6, 1943, Tesla died virtually penniless. We all die penniless, guys, because money isn't real. Okay? George Scherf Jr. Nikola Tesla's successes in discovering new technologies did not go unnoticed by many industrial capitalists and world governments. In fact, many of the inventions were developed through secret government programs, which began soon after his discoveries in alternating current, electromagnetic energy, electric motors, generators, coils, radio transmission, energy-saving devices, and wireless transmission technologies. Since Tesla was often buried deep in research in remote labs, many of his financial and legal affairs were supervised by his closest associate, George H. Scherf. Scherf often advised Tesla about pending patent litigation, contracts, proposals, demonstrations, and financial affairs. As any trusty associate would, Scherf stood beside Tesla through all the ups and downs of his financial nightmares, sometimes arranging for extended credit at the Waldorf Astoria where Tesla often resided, or by obtaining a cash advance towards research he was contracted to perform. Near the end of his career, Tesla was evicted from the Waldorf for an outstanding bill which exceeded $20,000, a rather large sum for those days. Oh, man. As Tesla worked in his secret U.S. government projects at Colorado Springs, Scherf communicated to Tesla the status of his business affairs. Tesla spoke of hopeful future financial successes through Scherf's repeatedly delivered the news of dwindling funds. Tesla had begun construction of a wireless power transmission tower, Wardenclyffe, in Shoreham, Long Island, which, with funds invested by J.P. Morgan, when Morgan discovered that the tower would transmit free electricity and radio waves, he canceled the project and had the tower dismantled, then sold for scrap. Morgan was not about to allow Americans to receive free electricity, television, and radio. Tesla was devastated when he received the news, but continued on with his new inventions. Some 12 years later, on October 14th, 1918, Scherf wrote to Tesla at Colorado Springs. The correspondence focused on the usual disclosure of pending legal issues and attorney matters, and was sent to Tesla on Tesla Company letterhead, containing the company's headquarters address at 8 West 40th Street, New York, New York, on October 15th, 1918. The next day, Tesla responded to Scherf's letter. It seemed impossible regarding our understanding of the technology available at the time, but these are the dates attached to the correspondence. An interesting anomaly. Tesla's response was addressed to George Scherf Esquire, Union Sulphur Co., 17 Battery Place, Union Sulphur Company. This address was not the location of the Nikola Tesla Company. Dude, Union Sulphur Company? Dude, Jesus Christmas. That's gotta be some frickin'... Okay. So yeah, anyway, this is... I'm gonna take a break from reading for a second, watch some more Terrence Howard, and then I'll find some good stuff from there, okay? Thanks for sending that. That's a nice little... That's a little more than what Veil of Invisibility gives us.